Welcome to this strength-based morning Pilates practice to feel empowered, peaceful, and confident within your mind and body. We'll get started today in child's pose at the back of our mats. Reach your arms out in front as you soften your torso onto the mat. Go ahead and take a big inhalation through your nose. And exhale to release. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Take an inhalation in child's pose. On your exhalation, press into your palms or ripple the spine forwards, coming into a spinal extension. Lower the pelvis onto the mat, bend your elbows, open up your heart. Inhale. Exhale, send your pelvis back, child's pose. We'll do that again. Inhale in child's pose. Exhale to roll forwards, engaging the lower core muscles. Inhale. And on your exhalation, ripple backwards. And again, pressing firmly into your palms, your knuckles, and your fingertips so that we're supporting our wrists. Notice the mobility of your spine, as well as the strength of your arms and your core muscles. Let's meet in child's pose. One breath here. From here, press up onto all fours, tabletop. On an inhalation, raise your right arm, gaze up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to lift, open your chest. Exhale to bend, engage your core muscles. And again, keeping the pelvis stable here. On your next inhalation, raise your right arm. Exhale, right palm on the earth. Inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale, we twist. Twice more. Feel the rotation of your spine, as well as the strength of your right arm. On your next inhalation, raise your left arm. Exhale, palm on the earth, tabletop. Now let's extend our right leg back behind us, point your toes. Inhale. On an exhalation, come into a tricep push-up and lift your legs skywards. Inhale to rise. Exhale, we lengthen the left leg, three-legged plank. Inhale to lower, let's do that again. Exhale, tricep push-up. Inhale through center. Exhale, three-legged plank. Inhale, knee on the mat. And again, so when we lower down, we are hugging our arms closely in towards the torso. We're bending our elbows behind us rather than out to the side. One final round. And lower both knees down into tabletop. Let's go on the other side. Left leg glides back, point your toes, inhale. Exhale, tricep push-up. Inhale to lift. Exhale, three-legged plank, extend your right leg. Inhale to lower. Exhale, engage the core muscles in your glutes. Inhale to rise. We're keeping a neutral and lengthened spine throughout these transitions. We're keeping the pelvis stable as we move throughout these two exercises. Continue to distribute your weight evenly across both arms. Final round. And let's return to child's pose when you're finished. You can turn your palms to face skywards to release your wrists. When you're ready, mindfully lift the torso. Take a few shoulder rolls. Interlace your fingers together and begin to circle your wrists and your hands out a few times. Now let's come to rest on our side body, propping yourself up on your forearm, stacking your shoulder atop of your elbow, spreading your fingertips wide. Stack one leg on top of the other, aligning your hips, aligning your ankles, and you can raise your other arm skywards. On an exhalation, lift the pelvis, side plank. Inhale to lower the pelvis. Exhale, let's come into our side teaser. Inhale to lower, let's do that again. Exhale, engage the core, side plank. Inhale to lower. Exhale, roll onto one glute, lift the legs, lengthen both arms. Inhale, we lower down. So when we come into our side plank, flex both feet to support your ankles. When we come into our side teaser, point your toes to help engage your inner thighs. And again, exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, engage the core, side teaser. Inhale to lower. Let's return to our side plank. Exhale, lift your top leg. Inhale to lower. Exhale, thread your arm under your waist. Inhale to rise. Exhale, we lift the leg. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to lift, and again, so keeping your foot flexed when you lift that leg. Engaging your obliques when you twist. One more round. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. From here, lift your top leg, reach your top arm overhead. Exhale to crunch. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Let's go for one more round. Exhale, we bend. Inhale, we lengthen. Return to your side plank. And lower the pelvis down. Lift the torso. Roll the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, side bend. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lateral spinal flexion. And again, breathing into the side body. Let's go for 2 more rounds. On this next round, pause in your side bend. Inhale. And exhale to rise up, roll the shoulders. Let's swap the positioning of our body on the mat and we'll come into this series on the other side. Stacking hips, legs and ankles, raise your top arm, exhale side plank. Inhale lower. Exhale side teaser. Inhale to lower, and again, exhale, we engage the obliques. Inhale, lower the pelvis with control. Exhale, we squeeze the thighs together, we lift the torso. Inhale to lower. And again. Point your toes when you come into your teaser. And flex your feet when you come into your side plank. Let's go for one final round. Return to your side plank. Exhale, lift the top leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift. And again. We're keeping the pelvis stable here, creating length each time we lift that top leg. Press firmly into your forearm and your hand to support the shoulder. Let's stay in our side plank. Reach your arm overhead, lift your leg. Let's come into our side plank crunches. Exhale, we bend. Inhale, we lengthen. And again, keeping the underside of the body stable. Let's go for one more round. And gently lower down, lift the torso, roll the shoulders, and let's find our mermaid stretch. With each exhalation, we come into our side bend, and with each inhalation, we rise up. Final round, pause in your mermaid stretch. Inhale, exhale to rise, roll the shoulders, and let's come to face the short edge of our mat. Feet hip width distance apart, palms behind your back. Press up into your reverse tabletop and lengthen your right leg. On an exhalation, lift your leg. Inhale to lower. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower. So we're engaging the back of the left leg, in particular the glutes. We're keeping the pelvis stable. We're broadening across the chest, and we are lengthening that right leg as much as possible using thigh strength. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more round. And rebend your leg. Lift the pelvis. Let's lengthen the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, we lift the leg. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift your leg skywards. Inhale to lower, and again, so we pause for a micro moment at the top to keep that engagement in our hip, and we lower the leg down with control. This time we're engaging the back of the right glutes, and we're keeping the rest of the body stable. It's just that left leg that's moving. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more round. And bend your knee, lift your hips even higher. Inhale. Exhale, lower the pelvis, lengthen your legs out in front, point your toes. Inhale, we raise the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, palms on the earth behind you. Inhale, reverse plank. Exhale to lower, and again, inhale, we lift up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, palms on the earth. Inhale, reverse plank, engage your glutes, open your heart. Exhale to lower, and again, taking this at your own tempo. Really gifting yourself this opportunity to stretch the back body in your forward fold and engage the posterior chain and your core in your reverse plank. Let's go for one final round. When you next press up into your reverse plank, pause and breathe. Keep lifting your hips, opening your heart, and engaging your glutes. Inhale. Exhale to release. Inhale, we raise the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Relax your body. One breath here. Let's mindfully lift the torso. Bend your knees, keeping your feet hip-width distance apart. Reach your arms out in front. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down using core strength. Reach the arms overhead. Inhale, arms the length of the body. Exhale, we reach the arms behind us. Inhale. Exhale, come up into your bent knee, roll up, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine to lower down with control. Inhale, arms on the mat. Let's go again, keeping your legs stable and your feet on the earth when you lift up. Draw your lower abdomen towards your spine when you lower down. Let's go again. Exhale, arms overhead. Pause for the inhalation. Exhale, engage the pelvic floor, lift up. Inhale to lengthen the spine. This time on your exhalation, only lower halfway. And let's begin to rainbow our arms back. Exhale, we reach. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale through center, and again, we're keeping the shoulders softened and down away from our ears. The legs and the pelvis are stable. We're using core strength to pivot the upper spine. Creating length with our arms, let's rise up, inhale. Exhale, mindfully lower down all the way onto the mat and return your arms onto the mat. From here, cactus your arms at shoulder height, feet mat width distance apart. Exhale, lower your knees to one side, turn your gaze to the other. Inhale through center. Exhale to twist in the opposite direction, and again. And again, once more in each direction, stretching the hips, the lower back and the neck. Let's mindfully return to center. Relax your arms onto the mat, hug your knees in towards you, flex your feet. Inhale. Exhale, straighten one leg skywards, point your toes. Inhale to bend. Exhale, lengthen the opposite leg, point your toes. Inhale to bend. 2 more rounds in each direction. Feel the stretch for your feet, your ankles, your calf muscles, and the backs of your thighs. From here, lower your feet onto the mat, extend your legs, join your legs together and point your toes. We'll come into our rollover. Press your palms firmly into the mat. Engage your core muscles. Inhale. On an exhalation, press into your palms, lift your legs and your pelvis, hinge the body backwards. Inhale, separate your legs to shoulder width distance apart. Exhale, flex your feet and mindfully lower the pelvis down and lower your legs down. Let's do that again. Inhale, legs together, point the toes. Exhale, hinge back using core strength. Inhale, separate your legs. Exhale, flex your feet, lower down one vertebra at a time, lower the legs with control, and again. We want to stabilize the pelvis when we roll back into our plow. And we want to use lower abdominal and hip flexor strength to help us lower the spine down with control. Keep the thigh muscles active when you lower your legs. Let's go for one final round. Exhale, we roll back. Inhale, we separate the legs. Exhale, we flex the feet and we lower down, keeping the head on the mat. Lower the limbs down and relax your body. On an inhalation, hug your right knee into the chest. Begin to circle your foot and your ankle. Go ahead and reach your right arm out at shoulder height. Exhale, guide your right knee across the body, spinal twist. Inhale. And exhale. On your next breath, let's return through center. Hug your left knee in, lengthen your right leg, and we'll recreate our circles with our left ankle. One breath here. On an inhalation, reach your left arm out. Exhale, spinal twist with the left leg bent. Breathe. Gently return to center and rock up into a comfortable seated position. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, turn your head in one direction. Inhale through center. Exhale, look in the opposite direction. And again. Finding a gentle release for the neck and the muscles of the upper back. Relax your face, your jaw, and your throat. When you next return through center, let's begin to trace some circles or half circles with the head and the neck. Perhaps moving in both directions. Slow down your movements. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up today. Perhaps silently repeat a kind and loving word to yourself, acknowledging your dedication and your devotion to this day and the present moment. On your next inhalation, stretch your arms skywards. Exhale, palms to your heart. Once more. Thank you, friends, for your presence, for your energy. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Pilates in general and this Pilates class in particular, if it's something that you'd like to see more of, or maybe you just want to share how you're feeling. I'll see you again soon.